Now, now let's talk about the feud between Nigerian musician Fela Kuti and businessman MK Abiola. The feud was actually caused by a combination of, contractual dispute and allegation of robbery too by Alhaji Asibiat Abiola, Abiola's first wife, and their, opposing relationship with the Nigerian military. So their first disagreement was based on the fact that they were disputing over royalties. So Abiola Company that I mentioned, Decca, because Abiola already invested in Decca Studio, was Fela record label in the early 70s. So Fela accused Abiola of cheating him out of royalties. So he accused Abiola of not paying him some money. So instead of taking the matter to court as Abiola suggested, what Fela did was to destroy the studio in response, about 70. So, Abiola's connection to the military government too was what also infuriated Fela. As a local head of the multinational ITT corporation, Abiola has business ties with the military regime, while Fela was a vocal and consistent critic of the corrupt military government as of then. Fela believed Abiola conspired with the Nigerian government to silence him. So Fela directly targeted MK Abiola and former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo in his scathing 1980 song called ITT, International Tip Tip. Now, again, there's an issue between Fela and Obasanjo that I will also want us to look at. But before we look at the history between Fela and Obasanjo, let us quickly take a dive at what Shehu Kuti said about Alhaji Asimbiata allegations on Fela about allegation of robbery on Fela and Kalakuta. So Shehu Kuti provided another account of the conflict in 2018. He was citing a fabricated robbery accusation. So according to him, Abiola's first wife, Alhaji Asimbiata Abiola, falsely accused Fela and his gang of stealing her car. So this was a serious charge as the military government was harsh on robbery offenses, which could actually result in execution. So Fela went to court and he was able to prove his innocence. So this was what led Fela to release his ITT International Tif Tif album. So now Obasanjo and Fela. So it happened that in 1977, Fela Anikulapo-Kuti, an African song, Africa 70 actually, released the album African 70. Yeah, I think that was the name of his record label. So they released the album Zombie, which heavily criticized Nigerian soldier and used the zombie metaphor to describe the Nigerian military. The album was a massive success, and this infuriated the government, the military government of Olusegun Obasanjo. So Obasanjo then raided the Kalakuta Republic, and some of this constitutional lawyer Femi Falana also attested to this in his speech at the Kalakuta panel, where he said, in fact, General Theophilus Danjuma actually said, "Go get me the fella." So he angrily said in his office, "Go get me that fella." So it was during this charade that they raided the Kalakuta Republic with 1,000 soldiers. So during the raid, Fela Kuti was beaten severely, and his mother, the first woman to drive a car in Nigeria. Anyway, so his mother was killed during that raid. So she was actually thrown, from a window, according to source. So the commune was burned down and the Kuti studio instrument, master tape were destroyed. So Fela Kuti claimed that he would have been killed had it not been for the commanding officer intervention as he was being beaten. Fela Kuti's response to the account was to deliver his mother's coffin to the Dodon barracks in Lagos. General Obasanjo's, he moved the coffin after they delivered it at the Dodon barracks. He then moved it to General Obasanjo's residence. He took his mother's coffin to General Obasanjo's residence and wrote 2 songs, Coffin for Head of State and Unknown Soldiers, referencing the official inquiry that claimed an unknown soldier had destroyed the commune. So General Hassan Katsina resigned from the Nigerian military after the military took over of General Yakubu, after the military coup that ousted General Yakubu Gowon, and subsequently rejected various political appointments that was thrown at him. He was a very thoroughbred soldier. MK Abiola would later die and became a symbol of democracy in Nigeria. He died in 1998. Became a symbol of democracy, and he was posthumously honored with the title of GCFR, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic. General Olusegun Obasanjo is still alive. He is also a GCFR by virtue of the fact that he was a head of state and democratically elected president. Fela Kuti would later die in 1997 as well, in August 1997, from, according to some source, HIV/AIDS. Complication from HIV/AIDS actually, and then the Murtala Muhammad, like I said, was assassinated in another coup, February 1976 by Colonel Suko Bukar Dimka. So thank you very much, and we look forward for another edition of Share Knowledge. Thank you.